Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and welcome to Bangladesh. I have a written material I prepared, and as you see, the title of my paper is Pioneer Modernist Architects of Asia and Mazharul Islam from Bangladesh. So first I will discuss what modernism is, what is misunderstood, and then I will find out the architects who have been able to embrace modernism in Asian countries, the Asian architects. So we have 21 countries now in Acacia, and I'll talk about each of them a little bit to find out who is the first or who introduced modernism in their respective countries. Modernism in architecture is a movement emerged in the 1920s in the West in order to accelerate industrialization and to transform society through social changes so that the standards of living can be raised for all people. Modernism in architecture pursued order and universal and based architecture on the abstract principles of design and thus rejected tradition and ornamentation. Ornamentation was considered unnecessary and useless. Modernism emphasized function, simplicity, and rationality, and thus created new forms of expression and a new aesthetic. The new aesthetic produced modern buildings characterized by clean lines, simple geometric shapes, cubic forms, ribbon windows, flat roofs, flexible interior spaces, and plain exposed structure, and this was considered appropriate for all countries and cultures. Modernism was influenced by the Enlightenment, the Age of Reason, which brought the Industrial Revolution in Europe. This influence was based on rationalism, a fundamental term for the Enlightenment which originates from René Descartes, who saw the world as a machine functioning by mechanical laws. The modernist dictum, "A house is a machine for living in," declared by Le Corbusier in 1921, refers to a building having the purity of form like a well-designed machine. This machine aesthetic that goes back to Descartes defines one of the core concepts of modernism. Adolf Loos, an early modernist, also influenced modernism by declaring ornament a crime in an essay published in 1908. For Loos, ornament had no meaning, place, or value in a modern society because a modern man appreciated simplicity. Louis Sullivan coined another famous assertion, "Form follows function," in 1918. Mies van der Rohe was highly influenced by Sullivan's proclamation expressing the purpose of the building by emphasizing function and design from inside out. In modernism, priority was given to function, and function was the basis for form. Modernism in architecture ultimately grew from the Bauhaus, a German school for architecture and design established in 1919 in Weimar by Walter Gropius, along with Mies van der Rohe, Marcel Breuer, Kandinsky, Paul Klee, Johannes Itten, Moholy-Nagy, and others. Bauhaus combined art with technology, crafts with industrial production in order to revitalize design with new materials like reinforced concrete, steel, and glass. Bauhaus believed that the design principles of simplicity, rationality, functionality, and universality are capable of changing the world for a better life. Now I will find out the pioneers of modernism in Asian architecture on the basis of what I've said about modernism and modernism. Modern architecture that developed in Europe in the 1920s did not occur in Asian countries before the Second World War, a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945. In the wake of war devastation in Europe, the influence of its great powers waned, triggering the decolonization of Asia and Africa, mostly between 1945 and 1960. Modern architecture gradually began to appear in Asian countries after decolonization and during the Cold War between Soviet Union and the USA that lasted between 1947 and 1991. I have prepared a chart to show the countries, the 21 countries we have in Arcadia, when they were decolonized from different colonial countries like UK, France, Netherlands, Portugal, Japan, and China. In most of the member countries of Arcadia, during colonial period before World War II until 1930s, besides traditional and vernacular architecture of each country, there were in general European neoclassical, neo-Gothic, Palladian, and Renaissance styles in practice, particularly for colonial, civic, and commercial buildings. From 1930 onward, after the arrival of reinforced concrete, a popular material, Art Deco style predominated and continued for a considerable number of years, even after decolonization of these countries. Art Deco style served for a transitional period till the 1950s and 60s, when modern architecture gradually began to appear in architectural reality of these countries. The brutalist style of modern architecture also became popular in some of these countries from the 1970s. Brutalist style coincided with urban renewal and building boom of some of these countries. Postmodern architecture began to appear in the 1980s. From year 2000, architecture of these countries began to be sensitive to climate, ecology, culture, and sustainability within the framework of modernism. Here, this paper attempts to recognize the early pioneer architects who adopted modern architecture in some of the member countries of Arcadia during the 1950s. I'm only talking about 1950s. In Japan, architect Kenzo Tange became inspired by Le Corbusier, one of the profound founders of modern architecture, during his study at the University of Tokyo, and later became the lead architect in the movement of modernism in Japan. Kenzo Tange's design of Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum and his own house in Seizo, Tokyo, built between 1950 and 55 and 51-53, ushered in the beginning of modern architecture in Japan. In Hiroshima Peace Museum, the floor is lifted 6 meters above the ground on a huge pilotis and is accessible by a freestanding staircase. The reinforced fair-faced concrete museum building with vertical louvers in the facade exhibits the influence of the great master Le Corbusier. Tanguay House uses a similar skeletal structure raised off the ground as the Hiroshima Peace Museum. The floor plan was based on the traditional Japanese module of tatami mat and used Fusuma paper sliding doors to subdivide room interiors. The house is topped with a two-tier roof, unlike modernistic flat roof. Tanguay's work influenced not only the Japanese architecture, but a generation of the world. In India, Achyut Purushottam Kanvinde was first to introduce modern architecture in post-colonial India. Kanvinde entered Sir J.J. School of Arts in Mumbai, where he studied under Professor Claude Batley in the Art Deco curriculum and graduated in architecture in 1942. He then went to study at the Harvard Graduate School of Design under Walter Gropius and graduated in 1945. At Harvard, Paul Rudolph and I.M. Pei were his classmates. Here in Harvard, Kanvinde understandably transformed from the Art Deco to the Bohos ideals. On his return to India, Kanvinde designed a number of buildings for the government. Among these buildings, Ahmedabad Textile Industries Research Association, ATIRA building at Ahmedabad, was constructed first in 1952. ATIRA building, having great influence of Bohos building at Dessau, thus can be identified as the first modern building in India. In Korea, Kim Chung-up, born in Pyongyang in North Korea, received an architecture education in the École des Beaux-Arts style from Yokohama Higher School of Technology, now Yokohama National University in Japan. Later, he worked in the Atelier Le Corbusier at 35 La Rue des Cerfs, Paris, from October 6, 1952 to December 28, 1955. During this period, he worked for Le Corbusier in several projects, including Maison Jaoul, Unit de Habitation in Nantes, Chapel of Notre Dame du Haut at Rocham, and buildings in Chandigarh and Ahmedabad. He came back to Korea in late February 1956 and founded the Atelier Kim Chung-up in Seoul on March 5, 1956. His design of administration building of Busan National University, that was built between 1956 and 58, and the library building of Konkuk University ushered in the beginning of modern architecture in Korea. In Konkuk University Library building, the influence of Corbusier's brutalist character is quite discernible. Simple block-like structures, having exposed concrete with unpretentious honesty, was favored by Le Corbusier in contrast to the ornate features of the elite bourgeois Art Deco style. Bangladesh, Mazhar Islam was the pioneer to introduce modern architecture. He was also the first graduate architect of Bangladesh. He graduated in civil engineering from Bengal Engineering College at Shibpur under Kolkata University in 1946. He then went to study architecture at the University of Oregon, USA, that followed curriculum according to Bauhaus principles. He graduated in 1952. He studied under Marion Dean Ross, a distinguished professor of architectural history, and Professor Hayden for architectural design at Oregon. Here in Oregon, Islam was transformed from a civil engineer to a modern architect. Mazhar Islam returned Dhaka in 1953 and joined construction, building and irrigation department of the then East Pakistan government. While in the government, he designed 2 buildings simultaneously in 1953, the Art College and the Public Library at Dhaka University campus. Both the buildings were completed in 1955 to usher in the beginning of modern architecture in Bangladesh. Despite Philippines' adherence to the traditional architecture with Filipino elements rooted in the Spanish heritage and later from 1898, the American influence, modernist architecture was introduced particularly in the brutalist manner that characterized government-built structures during the period of Ferdinand Marcos, that is between 1965 and 1986. But architect Leandro V. Locsin designed the circular Church of Holy Sacrifice in the University of Philippines, Diliman, which was built as early as in 1955. Architect Locsin is revered as the earliest pioneer of modernism in Philippines. But it may be noted that Manila has the 3rd highest number of Art Deco buildings in the world, whereas Mumbai has the 2nd highest and Miami the highest. Bandung has the 4th highest Art Deco buildings in the world. Art Deco was an international exposition held in Paris in 1925 and was a pastiche of many different styles, sometimes contradictory, united by a desire to be fashionable. Its intention was to create a sleek and anti-traditional elegance that symbolized wealth and sophistication. This exuberant style was found suitable for the expression of the spirit of optimism and became immediately popular in Europe and in the USA. Art Deco was not a modern, but at best a style in between modernism and tradition. Nepal and Bhutan continued with their strong traditional architecture during the 1950s and 60s. Bhutan preferred to follow the Tibetan tradition of Buddhist architecture. In Singapore, Art Deco style began to appear in apartment blocks from the 1950s, but with the establishment of Housing and Development Board, HDB, in 1960, modern architecture came into practice, first in the housing sector, whereby more than 80% of the population today live in HDB flats in Singapore. Hong Kong, with a strong colonial heritage of Victorian and Edwardian style, and later with Art Deco style, developed its own kind of modern architecture in the 1950s to 60s. Without adhering to the Corbusian idioms and Bauhaus principles of architecture. In Indonesia, the Javanese Art Deco style flourished from the 1920s and became the root for the first Indonesian national style in the 1950s. Architecture based on modern abstract principles of design was not realized before the 1970s. In Pakistan, Mumbai-based Art Deco architecture flourished in the 1950s and 60s, designed by graduate architects from JJ School of Architecture in Mumbai. Vietnam, that underwent dramatic historical and political changes throughout the 20th century, was able to create a new kind of architecture of its own. Architect Un Tan Phat graduated in 1938 from École des Beaux-Arts La Indochine in Hanoi, opened the first architectural firm in 1940 in Saigon. Phat and other first-generation architects of Vietnam, although initiated modernist architecture in Vietnam early in the context of Asia, their works of the 1950s and 60s cannot be considered to be properly modern, as these contained a good deal of decorative elements adopted from local traditional motifs. Minette de Silva, not only the first female modernist architect of Sri Lanka, but of whole of Asia, as probably also the earliest modernist architect of Asia. He was also the first Asian representative of CIAM-6 held in Bridgewater, England in 1947. He studied at the AA School of Architecture in London between 1945 and 48 and returned to Sri Lanka in 1948. Our first project, Karunaratna House in Kandy, initiated the beginning of modern architecture in Sri Lanka, which was built between 1948 and 51. Minatti Silva and later Geoffrey Bawa together became globally acclaimed for their development of modern architecture known as tropical modern. Malaysia, particularly Kuala Lumpur, has a rich blend of architecture including Mughal, Tudor, Neo-Gothic and Grecian Spanish styles. Initially after independence of Malaysia in 1957 and the establishment of Putrajaya in an area of 5,000 hectares, architecture became inclined more towards local and Islamic aspirations and gradually became rejuvenated with modern architecture from the 1980s onward. Malaysia did not manifest modernity in any of its edifices during the 1950s. Mongolian architects in the 1950s were involved in creating an architecture by combining Russian neoclassicism with Mongolian traditional architecture, and in the 1960s in creating monotonous apartment buildings, usually in 4, 5 and 9-story blocks. The blocks were of simple rectangular shape and constructed with poor quality materials without being inspired by the ideals of modern architecture. The traditional architecture of Siam that became Thailand in 1939, although influenced by Indian, Burmese, Khmer and Chinese styles, has a distinct expression. Thailand, in order to modernize and also to retain cultural identity, gradually opened towards selective modernism only in the 1960s. In post-colonial Myanmar, the Rangoon Engineering College campus, designed by Raglan Square, a British architect, completed in 1956, may be identified as the first modern work of architecture in Myanmar.